we will start here in just a sec. Um, Hi everyone. Um, if you don't mind turning on your cameras, if you're in a place where you can, that'd be great because ASL is a very visual language. If you can't or don't feel comfortable with it, feel absolutely no pressure at all. Let me see. So my name is Robin, in case you don't know me. I am now the official sign herald of Onsteora. Little intimidating, yay. Back here, you will see my fiance, Lawrence, doing his thing. We are in each other's backgrounds. Let me see. So, a little bit of background about me. In my mundane life, I am an ASL teacher. I graduated from Stephen F. Austin with certification and bachelor's in deaf and hard of hearing. So I'm officially certified to teach both deaf ed and ASL, but ASL is kind of where my heart's at. So that is why I'm here sharing what I can with you guys today. Yeah, I teach high school. I really love what I do. And if you ever have any questions in the future, fun fact about me is I have no boundaries when it comes to ASL. So people will ask me questions and I will just stand and talk and talk and talk. So please never be scared to talk to me or ask me a question. I figure we can go ahead and get started. Today is going to be just a beginner's guide to ASL in general. So for everybody who has had experience, I'm so sorry. This is for everybody who is brand new. Leave. Let me see. So we're gonna start out with like basics. If this is where you're at, awesome. If not, just play along. Pretend, oh my goodness, these are my hands. So let me see. Okay. So the best way for me to share this with y'all is unfortunately I can't like present the entire PowerPoint because then I can't see your beautiful faces. So we're just gonna do it like this. I hope that's okay. Let me see if I can actually. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay. So welcome to our first sign language class. If you've never taken ASL before, let's get our fingers ready, I guess. We're going to be using our hands a lot today, and the more you use them, the more natural it's going to become, but at first it can be very strange. Whenever we are signing, we want to make sure we pick a hand. So whichever hand is your dominant hand, whatever you write with. If you are ambidextrous, that is more than okay. However, hi, welcome. We're just getting started. Whenever we are picking a hand, if you're ambidextrous, that's more than okay. But please make sure that you are sticking with one. So pick a hand and stick with it. Because if you switch hands, like I have a few students who I've noticed are like April 30th. That gets like, where am I supposed to look? It gets pretty confusing. So make sure you are picking a hand, sticking with it. All right, let's get into fingerspelling. Yeah? So before we start, there are a few do's and don'ts. Back when I was in high school, my teacher had me like feet flat on the ground, straight back, like the whole works. We don't got to worry about that here. I promise. It's not crazy like that. But whenever we are fingerspelling, we want to make sure that we're relaxed. We don't want to be like in any awkward, crazy position. Make sure that whenever you fingerspell, I've seen a lot of people go like jerking it back and forth, and it's kind of awkward. The other one that I've seen that people do is here's oh my god, I cannot see that. So make sure that whenever you do it, I like to stabilize my hand, or I like to stabilize my arm with my other hand, and that way whenever I sign, I'm not like going crazy with it. So we don't bounce, jerk, or move our hands whenever we sign or whenever we fingerspell. Make sure you keep your fingerspell. Make sure you keep your elbow down, generally either here or just to your side, relaxed. We don't want our hand or our elbow like way over here or in front of our face because that makes it hard to see. Just relax your shoulders, pick up your hand, and boom, there you go. So, whenever we fingerspell, typically, but it's a little bit different for newbies because it's you're going to be finding yourself fingerspelling a lot of things until you understand how to circumlocute, which is basically go around the sign. But until then, or after then rather, fingerspelling is typically only used for names, first, middle, or last, names of places, names of like specific foods that maybe don't have a sign, clarification when a single sign has like multiple meanings, or technical terms that you're not going to find a sign for anywhere. So let's get into the different fingerspell, or the ABCs. Y'all ready? God, I cannot talk today. Okay. A. Make sure your thumb is on the outside. We don't want to go on the inside. A. B. C. D. E. You can either do it like, I've seen some people do it with like the closed fingers like this, E, or like this, E. F. You can do it fingers together or apart, up to you. I feel more comfortable apart. G. Now, one problem that I have issue with, whenever you see all those fun little finger spelling like charts kind of thing, is that a lot of them show the hands are like that, and that's uncomfortable. Like I said, whenever we sign, we want to make sure that it should be natural, it should be comfortable. So if it feels uncomfortable, you're doing something wrong. Whenever it's G, it's just this. You can have your thumb up or to the side. G. H. Again, see how it does that? That's weird. Make sure you're doing this. I. J. You're scooping it up. J. K. There you go. Okay, good. L. M. Good. N. One way that I like to remember my N versus my M is whenever you write it, let me see if I can show y'all. Whenever you write an N, like a lowercase n, there is, oh gosh, my camera's going crazy. It doesn't know where I am. It has 2 bumps, and that's 2 fingers, versus an M has 3 parts that touch, and that has 3 fingers. So N, M, or M, N, O, P. P is the exact same as K, but it's flipped down. Q. Q is the exact same as G, but it's flipped down. R. Make sure your palm is outwards. There you go. S. T. U. V. W. X. Y. And Z. You can either use your pinky or your pointer finger for this. So Z or Z. I've seen both. So if y'all want to review it real quick, take just a few seconds to yourself, go through the ABCs. A few more rules to go through whenever we fingerspell. Double letters. Oh, I'm so sad. Here, let me just show y'all real quick. I promise it's cute. Look, there's the animation. It's so cute, but I can't show y'all because um so whenever we have double letters in a word, take the word letter, right? We have L, E, T, right? But there's 2 T's. We can do one of 2 things. We can either slide it to show that there are 2 letters there, or we can bounce. It's kind of like just opening your hand and closing it. So L, E, T T E R, or L E T T E R. Good, yeah. Like forcing my hands or my fingers in place.
I have a
All right.
question.
Yeah.
Um, how would you do a double like Z since it already is kind of a lateral movement to do the sign and you can't like open and close it?
Good question. For double Z's, there is a specific thing you can do instead of doing a single finger. And this is personally why I prefer to use my pointer finger whenever I sign my Z's. Because for double Z's, like I had a teacher whose name was Hazard, HAZZARD. For that, you would sign HAZZ. And that one movement with the two fingers is two Z's at the same time.
Okay.
So like Blizzard, is that two Z's? Is Blizzard two Z? Okay,
Yes,
I'm not
yes.
crazy. Blizzard. That's a good
Okay.
question.
Thank you.
All right, we all feeling okay? All right, cool. Then, okay. Oh my gosh. Whenever we sign two or more words, so
Is the
if
PowerPoint up?
oh I'm sorry, I forget to share. Okay, got it. Give me a sec. We good? Can y'all see?
Yes.
Okay. So whenever we're signing two or more words, we pause. So I see a lot of my students in the beginning will go like, I like, you like they'll do some like weird dramatic effect to like show the pause, and it's not that big of a deal. It's just all you have to do is you wait, wait. You just give it a second. There's no need for any sort of movement or like, you see this pause right here? You wait. You don't need that. It's just. And more experienced signers, especially, will be able to tell the difference between two different words whenever you're whenever you're finger spelling them in sequential order. It's like even with the short break, it's just it comes more natural as you keep going, I guess. All right. And then lastly, how to read finger spelling. This one might be a little bit controversial, and that's okay. I have 3 steps for my students. The first step is to think about the context. So context is always a huge deal whenever it comes to finger spelling, because it takes up a lot of your brain power to sit there and put words together. And then, okay, what were we talking about? Let me go back. So that's always the first thing I tell my kids to think about, is what were we talking about before, and what are they talking about after? Secondly, is instead of putting the letters together, I want you to think about the sounds that each letter makes. So let's say, let me think. What's one that I can do? Okay, I'll do this. Most people, whenever they first start out, think G L A S S. What is that? And then they have to sit there and put the letters together in their mind, and that's a lot of work. Personally, I suck at spelling. I'm really bad at spelling, and so sitting there and having to think about each individual letter is a lot of work. So what I typically tell my students, and what I'm now telling you guys, is to think about the sounds. So if you see this and you think it's a G, okay, now replace that with the sound that G makes. It makes the G sound. So G, U, A, glass. And then we just put the sounds together, and it's like we're in kindergarten again because it's super easy. There are times when that's a little bit more difficult. For instance, ready? Can anybody?
Pahoni.
Pahoni, yes, good job. No. Uh, in that instance, it's putting those phonics together and you're pahone, right? Pahone, but we know now PH makes what sound? What is it? Visual phonics was never my thing. It makes the F sound. So in instances like those, it can be a little bit more difficult, a little bit more challenging, but I always encourage it because it just makes it so much easier. Lastly, after you thought about the context and you thought about the sounds the letters make, is guess. Truly and honestly, guess. I know that's kind of crazy, but let me explain a little bit. Whenever we think about the context that is being put in, and then we get, for instance, we get a really long word. I just fingerspelled that fast. Like that, I don't. Some of y'all might be really skilled in fingerspelling, and that's okay. But some of us might not be, and a longer word like that can be really hard to read. But if we literally think about any of the sounds that we can pull out from that word, can somebody tell me one sound, one word? Okay, yeah. Can anybody tell me anything else?
Sound like there was a Y, so it was an E sound at the end.
Not a Y, but an. But yes, I like the way you're thinking. If you take those single little sounds, if you take the first letter that you see and think about the sound that it makes in the context of oceans. Suddenly, we can take the context of what we're thinking about and some of the sounds in that word, we can put it together and we can come to the conclusion that what I'm talking about is the Atlantic Ocean. Does that make sense? I don't know if that, yeah? Okay. I don't know if I'm sounding crazy. That's okay if I am. So yeah, a lot of it is it's just guesswork. Don't tell anybody. It's just guesswork. Especially whenever you're meeting people who fingerspell crazy fast or fingerspelling a long word. It's just guess. You can always ask to go slower. Here's a sign. Lower. Or ask them to sign it again. Again. That is always something you can do. But if you ever need to, just guess, and I promise it'll work out at least 50% of the time, and I like those odds. So, okay. Do I have any questions about fingerspelling? About basics? No? We're all good? All right, y'all ready to get into some signs? Okay, we're going to be touching on the very basics. In my class, I call them survival signs, because these are signs that you're going to need to know for like the rest of your time learning ASL. These are very important, not just for like ASL in general, but learning ASL, you're going to need to know these signs to, I guess, get around the class and get around my signing whenever I sign to y'all. Okay? So let me take a second to find it. Okay, survival and basics. Like I said, there's a lot of signs. There's a lot. If you have any questions at any point, or if I'm going too fast, please let me know. I promise I'm doing my best, and I will do my best to accommodate to whatever you guys need. Sound good? Okay. Oh, and my coworker is also on here. This is Genevieve. Everyone say hi, Genevieve. She's phenomenal. She doesn't know that I'm showing you guys her PowerPoint today, but I'm sure she won't mind. Okay. Hello. This is basic one. It goes from the forehead-ish to just out. It's a very, I guess, anime sign. Like, hey, you know.
Always do it with the
Goodbye.
salute.
Yeah, like a salute, that kind of thing. Goodbye. It could be either this or this. It's much more casual.
I say,
Goodbye
I
or
liked that the GIF was very like Kent like.
I know, like dang. Goodbye or goodbye or goodbye. Important. You're making F hand shapes. You're starting down here and you're making a circle. And later we'll find out that what you do with your mouth when you sign is also very important. So a lot of the time the more important something is, I'll puff my cheeks. So important. Facial expressions. Making 2 X's. Facial expressions. That one too. They often resemble your eyebrows, which is why they go like that. Who?
What are those?
Who? You're making an L, and then you are bending it. Bending this finger right here. Make sure that whenever you sign it, it's on the chin. You're signing it and your eyebrows have to go down. Often I tell my students, don't, like, you feel stupid, I feel stupid, let's all feel stupid together. Like, it's okay to look ridiculous, I promise. Who? What? Good. You might also see this one. It's not something that I personally use, but it's out there, and if you see it, just know. Yeah. What or what? When? Oh my word. I don't know if y'all can hear her or not. So, one hand is pointing. You can either do it like this or like this. Anywhere here. When?
Does it matter if your dominant hand is the one pointing or not?
Ooh, good question. That's something I meant to address earlier. Whenever we sign, we want to make sure that I'm going to say like 99% of the time, our dominant hand is the hand that moves. So if we have a sign like when, our non-dominant hand is the one that stays still, and our dominant hand is the one that moves. Does that make sense? Yep. When? Why? There's 2 signs for this. Ready?
We skipped where?
Did we? Oh my gosh, we did. Thank you. I didn't even notice. Let's go back. Where? I think of this like a compass rose pointing north, or where is it pointing? Don't know.
I wanted to share a quick little story I saw about the sign for where. A stand-up comedian said that his parents named him Ryan because they were always asking, "Where is he?" "Oh, the toilet." Ryan. So he's like, "My parents named me Toilet in their native language with an R."
Oh my gosh.
Like
Not
that's
not to mention like the hearing gesture for it is bathroom.
yeah.
Incredible. So why? There are 2 signs. There's you're moving this finger right here. Or you're starting going out. How? So this one you can either be an A or like this. Honestly, any way you want to move this is acceptable. So like this, perfectly fine. If you want to move it inwards, that's also fine. Personally, I sign it how?
The way I was taught was always repeating. So
Yep,
that's
that works
interesting.
too.
I've never seen it that way, where both hands move.
Yeah, that one works too. How?
That big motion outward can be a big, how can I help you?
That's true. Or there's what you guys will find, and I'm going to address this right out of the gates because it's something my students are always like, Miss Wagner, actually, and I'm like, hold on. There are lots of different ways to sign lots of different things, and I do not know every single way to sign everything. If you have a way that you were taught or that you know of, please bring it up. Like Vanessa just did. Thank you. Please bring it up. I'm more than happy to accept it. If you ever want to go online and find something, I tell my students to trust the bald men, and my students can quote that. Strange, I know, but there's like multiple bald guys on the internet, and they all are like super skilled, super amazing, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I just need to shave my head or something, like, because they're great. So trust the bald men on the internet. But like I said, if you have a sign that you know of, please let me know. I'm more than happy to share it and to accept it.
To add to that, I view the different ways people sign the same sign as just accent. You know?
That's true. Sorry. All right, which? Again, y'all learned this one. Y'all remember it? There you go. Slow. Good. There you go. Slow. Understand. So it's like you're flicking your pointer finger upwards by your head. Understand. Make sure that whenever you sign this, you have to nod. Yes, I understand. Because this very next one, don't understand, is the exact same thing, but you shake your head no. Yeah. Don't understand. Yes. No. Funny story that just happened yesterday, actually. My student, she's an ASL 3 student, and I love this kid so much, y'all. Love her to death. She decided that yesterday, being April Fool's Day, would be a great day to prank me. She came in to my classroom, sat down, and she goes, and I'm like, huh? Have I? That's, first of all, not proper ASL. I know I didn't teach you that. Second of all, what do you mean, have I? And she's like, what? And I finally understood when she started saying, and I'm like, huh? No? Teach you. It's BSL. That's BSL for no.
British Sign Language.
Yes. So yes and no. This is British Sign Language. Just she really got me. Bathroom or toilet. Remember, you start from here, from your memory, or your forehead, like memory, and bring it back down in front of you. Remember. Don't remember. What do y'all think this is? So the difference between many signs and their meanings is just as simple as nodding and shaking your head. Typically, if you shake your head no, you're negating something, which means you're like saying not that. So, understand, don't understand. Remember, don't remember. Forgot. No. See, it's a bent B like that, and you're tapping it against your forehead.
I was gonna say that was a good picture of Homer Simpson for forget.
Thank you. Don't know. Yes, good. So we're going to shake our head, but we're also going to put it outwards. Don't know. Think. And don't think. Good, yeah. Say yes as I'm shaking my head. No, it feels very strange. Ready. Typically, you can shake it like this, or if you're asking, like, are you ready? A lot of times I'll sign to my kids. Like, are you ready? That kind of thing. It's also interesting because a lot of my students still come up to me and sign. And I'm like, am I ready for what? Like, what do you want? And I've tried teaching them again and again that this is bathroom, this is ready, but they still, I can't get it through their heads. Finished.
It's not picking up your mic, but you might want to explain the noise you're making. Not, the noise isn't necessary, but what I mean is
the mouth morphemes. I figure we'll get into that later. But just so you guys know, whenever I sign finished, I sign fish, or I don't sign. I fish. F-A-S-H. F-S-H. Fish. Fish. Me or I. You're just pointing at yourself. You. Bam. You. My or mine. Mine. Your. So me. My. You. Your. Think about it like the palm is showing possession. So, like, if something is mine, I'm holding it close to me. If something is yours, I'm holding it up for you. But this is you and me.
Vanessa had said in the chat that her ASL teacher would only let her leave the classroom if they signed it correctly. I don't know if you can implement the same rules virtually, but
Oh, I do that in my classroom. Absolutely. If they come up to me and they go, I'll go, huh? What? What do you mean? Feels a little bit cruel, but you gotta teach them somehow, I guess. Please. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Typically, this one is directional, so if somebody is over here to my side, I'm not just gonna sign thank you. I'll go, oh, and I'll aim it at them. Thank you. Sorry. So a lot of people get confused between the difference of please and sorry. So for these two signs, I think of please as like see how it's flat hands, like please. That's what you put to your chest, please. Versus sorry is like a sorry, like ugh. Sorry.
Sorry is also the S hand shape,
Mhm.
if that helps remember.
Yep. Missed. I'm always kind of iffy on this one because there's two different meanings of miss. There is like I miss you versus like I'm gonna throw something. Oh shoot, I missed. So there's I miss you, which is like miss. It's like the feeling miss. You're taking your one hand shape, putting it on your chin, and you're twisting your wrist. Missed. Hi, Cass. Or there is missed, like, oh, darn, I missed, right? Or, like, you missed the sign. Like, if somebody's signing to you, oh, sorry, I missed. You're going to make a C hand shape, and you're going to bring it across your face, slowly becoming an S. Missed. I think of it like somebody just threw something across my face.
Does it
Like,
work from
you
like
missed me.
missed class or like a meeting?
No, I'm gonna say no, because for that one I would probably do more of like a absent or skipped. But I mean, for the sake of simplicity and y'all not knowing that one yet, feel free. Missed. Or miss. Oh my god, hi Sparrow. Okay. Fingerspell. Fingerspell. I use this one a lot whenever I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I'll say, sorry, don't understand. Can you fingerspell? Notice whenever I'm asking if somebody can fingerspell for me, I'm raising my eyebrows up. So that makes it a question. It's kind of like bringing our tone up whenever we ask that. Can you fingerspell? You hear it? You hear the, It's asking a question like that, you're raising your eyebrows.
So for that one, is it like you're drawing circles with your middle finger?
It's like
Is
you're
that-
doing this.
Okay.
So you're going,
Okay, got it.
And really quick, I was taught that eyebrows up is specifically for yes no questions. Has that changed?
no, it's true.
Okay.
Can you fingerspell is a yes no question.
Okay, yeah, but just yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, you're correct. I figure we'll get into questions at a later date, so don't worry about it too much right now. Just know that your eyebrows do something. Good. Good. Versus fine. You're taking your thumb and you're placing it here. So some people do it like this, very straight up and down. I tend to curve my hand like that for whatever reason. Fine. Either way, it is fine. But anyways, bad. So I'm gonna get up here real quick. Whenever I explain the difference to my students about good or bad, right? Oh, my camera follows me. You gonna follow me? Okay, cool. Whenever I explain the difference between, I know, how cool is that? Anyways,
She got a
whenever I
fancy
explain the
camera.
student, you're interrupting me. Whenever I explain the difference between good and bad to my students, I'll sign good, like I'm placing it gently. Oh, look at how good this is. It's beautiful. Whereas bad, I'm taking it, I'm mashing it, like I'm like good versus bad, like you're smashing it up if it's bad, basically. Hope that helps. Same. So this is also a directional sign like thank you. If I am the same as somebody on here, then I would sign, oh, me too, same. If me and for whatever reason this glass are the same, wow, we're the same. If Lawrence and I are the same, we're the same. But what if two different things like a candle and a candle? Wow, these two, is it same? It would be between these two objects. Same. Or if you're listing things, which again we'll get into later, if you're showing things like multiple objects, you could be like, all of these, see these? They're all the same. Yeah. Okay. Sign. So you're taking your pointer fingers and you're bringing them back. Sign. Here. I've also seen people sign forward. I personally sign backwards, but it's up to y'all. Whatever feels more comfortable. Different. Ooh, I'm hitting my table. Different. I like to go diff. Diff.
Question. Because I've had people sign it multiple ways. Different and but. Same?
I sign it the same. The way I differentiate them is for different, I'll say diff, like. But then but, I'll typically like raise an eyebrow and I'll go. And I'll go bah, bah.
Great.
But
Thank you.
it's a good question. I've seen, I know that I've seen somewhere else a different way to sign it. I personally don't know it. I don't remember it.
Okay.
Yeah. Help. So help. Again, this is another directional sign. So this is if I am helping somebody else, it goes from me to that person. What if somebody is helping you guys? Yep. So help you, help me. If somebody over there is helping somebody over there. Yeah, good. Y'all are getting it. I'm so okay. Meaning, I went my entire school year last year without teaching my ASL ones that word. The entire year. I hope y'all remember it. Cause oh my god. Meaning. There you go. Name. Name. Feel. Oh, sorry, I haven't gotten there yet. Feel. There we go. You're using your middle finger and you're brushing it against your chest. Up. Feel. So let's put some sentences together. You want to try? Let's do my name is blank. I feel blank. You could say I feel good, fine, or bad. And then you're going to have to finger spell your name. Do we want to try breaking out into the breakout rooms again? Can we try? That's always so scary.
I'm so sorry. It's just on.
Okay. All right. So I think we're going to wrap up this vocab. We might go back and review, and then we'll talk sign heraldry. Yeah? Okay. I want to slip in a little bit of silent or sign heraldry like in the last portion just cuz there's not enough for us to like have the vocabulary for it yet. But it's nice to know how to get started. So we'll start and we'll trickle in sign heraldry very slowly throughout the lessons. Okay. So, let's see. Come on. There we go. Let me share my screen again and we will wrap up the vocab. All right, so we just did feel. There you go. Make sure it's one hand because two hands is excited. Voice on. Whenever we sign this, we want to make sure our mouth opens. We have voice off. What do y'all think it is? Yep, easy peasy. Hearing. We have deaf. My students usually get this. I'm not sure if this is the right audience for this one. Y'all know what mewing is? Yeah, we're going there. My students, they all believe that the emoji that shows this is mewing. And I had to break it to all of them, but that this means deaf. This is not mewing. And they were like, huh? what? And I'm like, no, it's not that. No. And I had to sit there and do that, but I also made sure that they all put their phones away because ain't no way am I having them record that. So, deaf, not mewing. Hard of hearing. We're doing H, and then we're bouncing away from our body. Hard of hearing. Now, so we make a Y hand shape, palm up, and we're going down once. The only difference between now and today is that today is bounced twice. The easiest way for me to think about this is just the syllables. Now, today. That's the easiest way for me. If that works for y'all, awesome. If it doesn't, ignore me. Later. So you can do it once or you can do it multiple times. I've also seen later, but I also know this to be review. Not really sure. I don't like this sign.
I was
I
taught
prefer
later, but
this.
once.
Yeah. I'm not, I don't really like it, but again, it's up to y'all. And if that's what you see in your community, please feel free to use it. Like, cater to yourselves.
What are they again? I'm sorry.
Later versus later. Yeah.
So it's bouncing it multiple times, or sorry, like this, bouncing it multiple times, like emphasize much later.
No, typically your facial expressions do that. Like,
Okay.
Like if I
Okay.
make my eyes really wide.
Okay.
I've also
Versus
seen
just
going slower, like later.
yeah, like
Okay.
yeah.
Usually, like the how it was explained to me is like bouncing a sign is usually more of a like less pressing, you know? Like
Like I'm not in a hurry kind of thing. Like there's nothing to worry about. It's all good. It's very casual. Yeah. Yeah, no worries. But then later is like later. The more you exaggerate it, the more drawn out it is, I guess. Does that make sense? So yeah, you're correct, Cass, is what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
Okay. C. You're making a V. And you're going out. The reason for this, fun fact, is because ASL actually originates from France. And in France, their sign for C is voir. V-O-I-R. Voir. And so it starts with a V. Or it's signed with a V. Do. I think this is the last one. Yes. So, do is a concept. It basically means what doing. This could be like, what are you doing? It could be, what have you done? It could be, what are you going to do? Or it could be, what am I doing? What am I going to do? What have I done? It's just a concept that means what do, if that makes sense. So, do.
In the SCA, there's a lot to do.
Yes, that's another way. This means like it's again more of a concept. It's hard to put English to it.
Do everything.
It's like yeah, it's like going around doing all the things. Do. But if whenever we sign this in like a normal sentence that's not, this, it would just we would make sure our eyebrows go down. Cuz it's always generally a question. Okay. That's it for all of those signs. There was a lot that we covered. I know. I'm so sorry to dump all of that on y'all at the exact same time.
But we have the video.
How about
look at later.
That's true. How about y'all we'll take maybe 10 minutes. In that 10 minutes, we'll have like a small break. Go ahead, review this either now or whenever you come back. We'll reconvene at 8:50-ish. Sound good? Okay.
All right, then, catch up.
You got the video still going?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. So I don't have any. Well, I guess I have my thing. For the very first discussion, I'm not even gonna call it a lesson. I'm gonna call it a discussion on silent heraldry. Is we're just gonna talk about how to get into it. Because I know that it can be a really daunting task. So a little bit of background on myself in the SCA. Whenever I started about 2 years ago? I think 2 years ago.
I'm nodding along like I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I appreciate the support. Whenever I first started in the SCA, I had no idea that silent heraldry was a thing. It took somebody bringing it up at one of the populace meetings, and she was like, "Yeah, I've always wanted to learn sign language, but we don't really have anything for sign heraldry." And I'm like, this was whenever I was in college, so I was like, "That's my thing. What are you talking about?" And getting into it was really a challenge because there was nobody for me to talk to in my area. Like, I knew of Facebook groups, but a lot of the times whenever we would get together, it was just like, let's sign and practice, and that's awesome. Please, I am not putting that down at all. I'm just saying that for what I needed, it wasn't the most beneficial thing. Again, for me personally, the groups are amazing. Go join. But it was strange because I didn't know the exact rules I guess I should be following. I didn't have anybody to say, "Hey, here are my problems. Help me, like walk me through it," kind of thing. I had to kind of do it on my own. So I guess getting into silent heraldry or sign heraldry, my bad. I would say, first of all, y'all are in a great place to start. May I ask how many of y'all are either aspiring sign heralds or current sign heralds? Okay. Get some iffies, got some okay. Okay, so the best way to really get started, I'm gonna be so honest, is just do it. It's scary getting up in front of that many people. It is. I know. It can be really daunting standing there and feeling like you don't know what you're doing. But I can promise personally, if I am ever at an event, and you come up saying, "Hey, I want to try sign heraldry," or I want to try doing it today," I'm gonna back you 100%. Whenever professional interpreters get up to I'm not gonna say professional. Whenever newer interpreters get up to start interpreting anything, they typically have somebody sitting down in front of them, and they're called feeders. So basically, what they do is anytime they see your mind like struggling to catch up, and they're like, "Wait, what's the sign for this? How do I convey this concept?" Their entire job is to sit there and feed you the signs and give you exactly what you need to say. And if you're ever at an event where I'm there, I can absolutely do this for you. I Don't get me wrong, I'm not a professional interpreter, but I've been doing this for about a year, two-ish. And I like to think that I've gotten pretty good at it, at understanding what is being said and how to convey that into sign language. And so it's as simple as shooting me a look and being like, "Okay, I got you. Here you go." That kind of thing. Cass, did you have a question?
Just like another great way to like get into any sort of like interpreting is sit in the front row and mimic the interpreter, right? If you're like, there's no fucking way you're getting me in front of a crowd while I'm still learning. Same boat. Like you can literally like sit in the first couple of rows and you'll definitely you'll make Robin proud. But just sit there and like literally just copy her signs, right? Um, Another great thing about court, especially, all right, yeah, is that at least for the awards, they're all the same, right? The words that go into the awards are the same every single time. And so there's also like a possibility, especially if Robin, if you'd be down for something like this, where, Robin is up and interpreting the sort of like improv, right? Like actually interpreting what people are saying, and then you step up and you sign the award, right? And then you step back, right? That's another great way to learn. But like, don't be afraid to mimic. Don't be afraid to like just kind of sit in the audience and not pay attention to court at all, and instead just learn how to sign. That's I grew up in a Catholic church, and that's how I got through mass. Was I watched the interpreter and I learned all of the signs. So, um, but yeah,
One thing.
uh,
Oops, sorry. Finish what you were gonna say first.
no, I was just gonna keep reiterating because I don't know when to shut up. So.
One thing to remember too, we're a volunteer-based organization, and there are different levels of signers. The most basic level, if you are a beginner signer and you're signing in court, is you're signing the gist of what's going on. You might not be able to do the flowery language of a scroll being read, but you can say, this person was brave, this person is strong, person, and support him. And now he is given award for art, science, whatever
Yep.
awards being given.
Yep. The bare minimum is okay. And I 100% agree with what Cass says, like if you ever want to just come up, take a second to interpret even just the scroll or just the award itself while I sign like the, oh
All the
wow,
stuff
you're
that they
so
lead up
funny.
to
Oh, I
it.
love you so much. That's perfectly fine. I have done courts that have lasted hours. And that takes a toll. If you're ever willing to like come up and just to give me that 30-second break, absolutely, I will cheer you on so hard as I am also resting my hands.
I once again thank
Gonna
you for War of the
3
Rams.
peerages
That was a
in case
nightmare.
time
I know. I was there.
Oh my god, it was so cold. Let me see what else.
I watched you progressively shrink and like your signs get smaller and smaller. I was like, I'm so sorry.
I think halfway through that court, I left and I found a campfire.
Dude, Derek. No, I'm just kidding.
Mwah.
My
Yeah,
parents
no,
were on
you
the
do you, babe.
throne. I couldn't go anywhere.
Yep, you were just as stuck as I was. Don't even be sorry.
All right.
So. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were saying something.
My dad.
Gotcha. So let me actually see if I can pull this up. I shared it with y'all in resources already. But no, I didn't. I didn't. Did I share it in ASL? Where did I share it?
I see survival and basic science in ASL.
Okay. Oh, we're there right now? Oh, okay. Then I'll only hold you for like maybe 5-10 more minutes. I know we're already at an hour 30 and it's gone much longer than I anticipated. But let me share this with y'all because I can't believe I haven't shared this with y'all before. Sign heraldry. Come on. Is it not on my thing? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Maybe we'll do it next time. But I have a pamphlet that I pass out to the people who've taken my sign heraldry one-on-one class. And it's super, super helpful and just understanding how to get set up for court. But maybe we'll save that for next time. I hope this was like an okay introduction to ASL or sign heraldry. We'll get more into it next week. I think that's all I have for y'all this week. Thank you all really much for coming. I'm so glad you're here.
Quick, Robin, is it not the one in resources, or is it a different one?
I don't think so.
The Beginner's Guide to Silent Heraldry?
Oh my gosh, it is. Ah!
It's just
Okay,
not
yeah, it's in
Sign
there.
Heraldry.
It's in there. Okay. So yeah, it's called Beginner's Guide to Sign Heraldry. It is in resources. It is a PDF. Acrobat. I don't know what that means.
PDF.
It's a PDF. It's meant to be a trifold, so forgive the formatting, but it has a lot of stuff that's really, really important. We can go over it some more, like I said, next week. So don't stress. I'm not gonna hold y'all here forever. That's all I have. Thank y'all so much for coming. If y'all want to hang here, chat, do whatever, that's perfectly fine. Otherwise, you are free. I am releasing you. Be free, like the little birds you are. All right. See y'all later.
Bye.
Thanks, Anna.